Hello, Dolores. How are you doing this morning?
Hi, Fred. It's been a rough morning after a long night. The baby was sick again, and I got the doctor to phone in a prescription that should help her, but it was $150 at the pharmacy. How are we supposed to afford that?
There are definitely some issues with how the healthcare system works in the U.S., and by most measures, it doesn't seem to be getting better.
I am just looking forward to when Congress gets their act together and finally passes a Universal Health Care Act.
I don't think that giving the government complete control over a problem will necessarily lead to the best solution.
Can't be much worse than we have now. I'll get you your usual drink.
Thanks, Dolores. Hey, Robbie. Good to see you again. Mind if I join you?
Sure, Fred. I heard what you said to Dolores, but why don't you think universal health care is a good solution? The U.S. is the only free country that doesn't have free health care for its citizens.
Well, first off, healthcare is never free. Someone is always paying for it. It is only a question of who.
Well, I definitely can't afford it. Certainly the federal government is in a better place to pay for it than I am. Here's your drink.
Thanks, and I hadn't realized you were more than $20 trillion in debt.
Very funny, Fred. You know what I mean.
Yes, but you know what I mean as well. But that is really besides the point. The bigger issue I have with that idea, Robbie, is that we would no longer be a free country if we had a government-controlled healthcare system.
How is that?
Is that your car parked out there?
The shiny blue one? Yeah.
Did you pay for it yourself?
I wish, man. Where would I get that much money at 18? No, my parents got it for me.
That is awful nice of them. Is your name on the title?
No, man. My dad insisted that it was his car since he paid for it. I just get to drive it.
So if you did something that made him angry with you, he could potentially take it away.
Yeah, if I so much as get a speeding ticket, I probably wouldn't be driving it for a while.
But if you had paid for it yourself, you wouldn't have that issue, right? Your dad wouldn't have that particular avenue of leverage to influence you and your decisions with.
That he wouldn't be able to take it away? Darn right I wouldn't let him take it away if I paid for it.
So you can see that whoever pays for something controls it, right?
Have you met my parents? That is the story of my life.
So if the federal government is paying for your health care, who controls your health care at the end of the day?
They would, I suppose.
And if someone else controls your health care, they have a heck of a lot of leverage over you, right?
Yeah.
If the government has that much control over you, then you are not really free.
If that is the case, how can we afford health insurance?
The key to lowering the price of health insurance is lowering the cost of health care, which is not the same thing. Obamacare claimed to be an attempt to lower the price of health insurance, but hardly addressed the cost of health care at all. Instead, it focused on lowering the insurance price to the consumer by subsidizing the cost with government money.
Well, at least that approach was effective at lowering the prices we have to pay.
But was it? Where is that government money coming from?
That is why we pay taxes.
Yes, government money comes primarily from taxes, at least in the U.S. So the money they are using to subsidize your insurance is money they have already taken from you or from someone else. They are just returning it to you.
I suppose.
And it gives the appearance that the total cost you are paying for healthcare is lower than before. And because it appears they are paying for it, that is used as a justification for why they should have influence over what is and is not covered by a policy and how much it should cost.
So you think that the government shouldn't be involved in health insurance at all?
The courts have a legitimate role to play in mediating disputes between insurance companies and their customers. There needs to be some recourse to ensure that insurance companies honor the policies they are selling, and the government provides the authority to do that effectively. But otherwise, insurance is a contract between two private parties.
You don't think the government should regulate medical care?
I said they shouldn't be paying for people's insurance or health care. They will need to regulate certain aspects of healthcare. Requiring open, publicized pricing for services would increase competition and help lower prices and costs.
Shouldn't the all-powerful free market take care of that automatically?
It should, and did for many years, but currently the market is clearly out of balance, presumably due to massive levels of government intervention. It will take government-initiated changes to correct those entrenched problems. It will also require changing how people think, after years of taking part in our current messed-up system.
Well, at least we can definitely agree that our current system is messed up, and that we need some serious changes.